Before the world knew his name, before Funkadelic redefined the boundaries of soul, rock, and psychedelia, there was a young guitarist from Plainsville, New Jersey, whose hands carry a universe of emotion. This man was a quiet prodigy with the explosive power of Jimi Hendrix, the spiritual depth of a blues poet, and a sound so raw, so human, it can make listeners cry without a single word. He didn't just play the guitar, he spoke through it. From the moment he joined George Clinton's Parliament-Funkadelic collective, he became the hidden architect of a revolution, shaping riff, solos, and sonic landscapes that pushed black music into the cosmic unknown. This is the story of a man whose guitar burnt like fire, and whose spirit soared through the universe, and whose legacy continues to ripple through rock, funk, metal, and hip-hop. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Eddie Hazel. Now, if you guys love my videos and love supporting me, then I suggest you become a member of the channel, where I will be releasing exclusive videos just for you all. Be sure to get that family tier so you won't miss out on these exclusive perks. If you guys would love to connect with me outside of YouTube, then I am officially announcing that I am on Discord. Here, you can provide me with feedback on my recent uploads. You could drop your suggestions for future videos, or if you just want to chat it up about videos or about music in general, or just about anything, we could do it here. We could do it together. I hope to see you there. The link is in the description below. Now, before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more content. Now, without further ado, let's cue that intro. Before the Cosmic Lights, before the Parliament-Funkadelic stage shows, there was Plainsville, New Jersey, a working class community where music pushed through garages, porches, and neighborhood basements. It was here on April 10th, 1950 that Eddie Hazel entered the world. As a child, Hazel seemed gentle, observant, and soft-spoken, but inside him burned a calling. He gravitated towards melodies, turning into blues, soul, and early rock and roll records. When his mother bought him his first guitar, Hazel found what would become his truest language he ever spoke. Day after day, note after note, Hazel taught herself the instrument with unusual intensity, and soon the neighborhood began to whisper about a quiet kid who played like he felt every emotion at once. This was the beginning of a voice, not made for words, but for strings. In the late 60s brought wind of change. The MOTOWN era was fading, rock was exploding, and an emerging group out of New Jersey and Detroit was redefining what black music could sound like. And that group was George Clinton Parliament-Funkadelic Collective, a fusion of soul, psychedelic rock, and unfiltered experiments. Clinton was searching for a young talent with fire, originality, and fearlessness. When Eddie Hazel auditioned, Clinton instantly recognized something rare. Hazel played with raw emotion that couldn't be taught. A blend of blues, sorrow, jazz phasing, and cosmic imagination. Eddie officially joined Funkadelic as a teenager, and with that, the mythology began. Funkadelic wasn't just a band, it was an experiment, a laboratory where rules didn't exist, genres didn't matter, and creativity came before everything. Hazel became one of the movement's key architects. With each section, Hazel pushed the guitar beyond traditional boundaries. His riffs became sharper, his solos deeper, and his tone unmistakably emotional. He blended psychedelic rock, with funk rhythms, challenging the idea of what black guitarists could be. With songs like I Wanna Know If It's Good to You, Super Stupid, and Red Hot Mama showcase his power, but nothing prepared the world for what's going to happen next. It was 1971, a studio at late night. The band exhausted, experimenting, searching. George Clinton turned to Eddie Hazel and gave him one line that would shape music history. Clinton said to Hazel, "Play like your mama just died." And what followed was one take, 10 minutes long, a storm of pain, beauty, and transcendence. Maggot Brain became one of the most iconic guitar solos ever recorded, a masterpiece controlled by chaos, blues-style mourning, and psychedelic catharsis. The song resonated far beyond Funkadelic's fan base, influencing rock guitarists, metal musicians, hip-hop producers, and anyone who ever experienced the pain that words can't express. In that moment, Eddie Hazel became immortal. Brilliance often walks side by side with vulnerability. Despite his talent, Eddie Hazel struggled deeply with the realities of fame, pressures, and the intense lifestyle of the P-Funk collective. Introspective and emotional driven, traits that made him a great artist but also left him very vulnerable. The rock star environment of the 70s combined with relentless touring schedules exposed him to the pressures and temptations of the era. His substance struggle, like many musicians of his time, became a burden that affected his liability, his mental health, and eventually his relationship with the band. Yet, even through challenges, his talent remained undeniable, erupting in moments of brilliance whenever he stepped on stage or entered a studio. Eddie Hazel was a man fighting his own shadows, even when his music reached its heights. In the early 80s, Eddie branched out. His solo album, Game, Dames, and Guitar Things, became a cult classic. Psychedelic funk journey covering covers, originals, and some of the most expressive playing outside of Funkadelic. He continued contributing to P-Funk's projects and worked with other artists and occasionally toured, but his life outside of bursts and creativities and periods of struggle as he navigated health issues and personal challenges. Though he never achieved mainstream fame, musicians and fans recognize him as one of the greatest guitarists of his generation, a once-in-a-lifetime talent whose playing carried both fire and fragility. By the early 90s, Eddie's health began to decline. Years of physical and emotional battles took their toll. And 2 days before Christmas, on December 23rd, 1992, Eddie Hazel passed away at just 42 years old. His passing was a quiet exit for a man whose music wore across the universe, but his impact did not fade, it only grew. Artists from Prince to Vernon Reid have praised Hazel's influence. Critics and historians often list Maggot Brain as one of the greatest guitarist performances that was ever recorded. But beyond the accolades lies something deeper, a reminder of how much beauty a human can release when emotion and talent collide. Eddie Hazel didn't just play notes, he played the truth. And truth, especially when spoken through a guitar, never dies. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song that Eddie Hazel played guitar on?